Have you ever wondered why your tomatoes aren't growing in the way that you want them to? Or why some tomato varieties seem to thrive in your garden while others, not so much? Well, in today's video, I'm going to help you choose the perfect tomato variety based on your soil, your garden size, and your climate. And also dive into the difference between determinate tomatoes and indeterminate tomatoes. So, welcome to the Wolfman Gardening Channel, where I help you with advice, tips, and tricks on everything gardening, all the way from seeding, all the way to your harvest. So, soil quality plays a crucial role in the growth and the health of your tomatoes. The right soil ensures that the tomatoes receive sufficient nutrients, water drainage, and aeration. So the different soil types, loamy, sandy, and clay, each have unique characteristics that affect tomato growth. Let me break it down for you and the impacts of each soil type. Loamy soil. Loam is a balanced mixture of sand, silt, and clay. This soil is often considered ideal growing for tomatoes because it has good drainage, high nutrient content, and good aeration. Tomatoes thrive best in loamy soil because it provides the right balance of moisture retention and drainage, along with the ample nutrients for vigorous growth. So like your beefsteak tomatoes, your San Marzano tomatoes, and your yellow pear tomatoes, those are some of the good loamy type soil tomatoes. Now let's talk about sandy soil. Sandy soil has large particles, making it well draining but often low in nutrients. It also has poor water retention, meaning that the soil dries out very quickly. Some soil characteristics of sandy soil include poor nutrition but excellent drainage. Tomatoes can grow well in sandy soil, but they require a little extra care in terms of watering and fertilizing. So if you're growing tomatoes in your sandy soil, you may want to amend the soil with some organic matter or compost to improve the nutrient retention and moisture holding capacity. Stuff like early girl tomatoes, Sweet 100 cherry tomatoes, and the big boys are great sandy loam tomatoes. Alright, now let's talk about clay soil. Clay soil has fine particles that are tightly packed together, causing poor drainage and compactness. The characteristics of your clay soil include poor drainage, but it holds high nutrient content. But the only other thing is the compacted texture on it is not good for drainage as well. So tomatoes don't typically thrive in clay soil, but with the proper amendments such as organic matter and sand, you can improve the drainage and texture, and it can be made suitable for tomatoes. If you're growing tomatoes in clay soil, you may want to ensure the proper soil aeration and drainage by tilling and adding the organic matter to break up these compacted areas. So some of the best varieties of tomatoes for your clay soil would be your Roma tomatoes or the plum type tomatoes, Brandywine tomatoes, and my favorite, the Cherokee Purple. Now for picking the right tomato for your garden size, there are two words that you're going to hear that play a big role in this portion, and that is determinate plants versus indeterminate plants. Now determinate plants, or your bush type, they grow to a specific height and then they stop. They usually produce all their fruit in a very short window. These plants are more compact and require less space since they don't keep growing indefinitely. Now, as for your indeterminate plants, or the vining type, they keep growing and producing fruit throughout the season until the first frost. They're going to need support like trellises or cages because they keep growing tall and they vine out. Due to this, indeterminate plants generally require a larger garden space. So if you have a small space, no problem, go with a determinate tomato style. And if you have plenty of space, go for the indeterminate varieties, giving you an endless harvest. Alright, like I said before, choosing the right type of tomato for your garden is key to a successful harvest. And climate plays a big role in determining which varieties will thrive. As I mentioned earlier, the two categories, determinate and indeterminate, each have different growing habits. So, in cooler climates, a shorter season, determinate varieties like an early girl or an early bush girl variety can give you a faster harvest. And for your warmer climates, indeterminate varieties such as beefsteak or Roma tend to perform much better as they have a larger growing season and produce fruit over a longer period of time. Alright, some other considerations will play a role in your tomatoes' growth, such as temperature, sunlight, and rainfall, and they all have an impact as well on your tomatoes' growth. So always choose the variety suited for your region's climate to ensure the best result. So now that you know the best tomato varieties for your soil, your garden size, and your climate, and the difference between determinate and indeterminate tomatoes, you're ready to pick the perfect tomatoes for your garden. So don't forget to hit that like button if you learned something new, and subscribe for more gardening tips. Let me know in the comments below which tomato varieties that you'll be growing this season, and share your gardening stories with me. And like always, keep it growing.